Notifications provide a way for the firm to communicate with staff members as well as with their clients through email and/or text messaging. With notifications, you can send staff notifications about calendar changes or calendar alarms. Or you can send clients reminders about their appointments. Select File, Setup, System Options. Select the Features tab. Select the Settings button for notifications. Check Enable Notification System. For log activity, select how you want log activity for the notifications to be recorded. We recommend selecting with debug info. On the Notification Center Settings window, email notifications are configured in the Email Settings section. How you configure email settings depends on what type of email your firm uses: Microsoft Exchange, Google Gmail, Yahoo, or Microsoft Outlook, formerly Hotmail. Use the Email Settings Guide and AbacusLaw Help to appropriately configure the Email Settings section. To test email settings, click Test Email Settings. This will not send out any notifications. Rather, it only tests your settings. During testing, only you will receive an email to the email address you entered for notifications. On the Notification Center Settings window, text message notifications are configured in the Text Messaging SMS section. Select Send Text Messages if you want to send staff notifications via text messaging, but not client notifications. Select Twilio if you want to send both staff notifications and client notifications via text messaging. This method requires the firm to have a paid Twilio account. For more information about creating a Twilio account, refer to AbacusLaw Help. After selecting this option, enter the account information you recorded when setting up your Twilio account. To test text messaging settings, click Test SMS. During testing, only you will receive a text message to the number you entered for notifications. Staff notifications can be sent via text or email. Here, we will set up default staff notification settings for the firm, and then in the next section, we will customize staff notification settings for each individual user. On the Notification Center Settings window, some settings in the General section are used to configure staff notifications. Check Notify Users when their calendar changes if you want an AbacusLaw user notified when an event on his calendar is added, modified, reassigned to another user, or deleted. Note that users will not be notified about changes to their own calendar if the user made the change himself. Check Notify Users about calendar alarms for notifications when a calendar alarm is triggered, like for an upcoming appointment. Change Check Every to set the time interval Abacus checks for calendar changes and alarms. Check Email Daily Agendas to users to have each user's calendar for the next day emailed to him or her. Enter the designated time in the Everyday At box. After staff notifications are configured on the firm level, they need to be configured on an individual level. Users can configure their own settings from the User Preferences window. Users select File, Setup, User Preferences. Select the Queries and Miscellaneous tab. Click Set up Email and SMS Alerts. The Notification Settings window opens, and users can change their own notification settings. Administrators can change any user's notification settings from the Notification Settings window. Click User Manager. On the User Manager window, administrators highlight the user they want to change and click Notifications. The Notification Settings window for the selected user appears. Let's review the settings on the window available for configuring the selected user notifications. Enter the selected user's mobile number. Select the user's mobile carrier. Click the Who Lookup button to open the Who Setup for Notifications window. Check the IDs for the people that the user would like to receive notifications about calendar changes. To receive notifications for all users listed, click Set to All People. In the Calendar Changes section, check Send Messages when someone changes my events if you want the user to receive notifications when his or her calendar is modified by a different user. For Notify Me Via, select whether you want the user to receive calendar change notifications by email, SMS, text, or both. Note that this field is not active unless Send Messages when someone changes my events is checked. For Query, select a query to include or exclude calendar events for the notification. For example, the default query selected, Not Done, excludes any done events from triggering user notifications. For Within the Next, set a time frame for how far out to include events. For example, if you select 14 days, notifications will only be sent for changed events happening within the next 14 days. If you want the user to receive calendar change notifications for all events in the future, enter 0. For SMS form and email form, click the button to select a quick form for an SMS text template or an email template to use for the notifications. Note that professional services can create or change these quick forms for you if you need customization. In the Calendar Alarms section, check Send Me Appointment Reminders if you want the user to receive notifications for his or her calendar alarms. Remember that checking this option will override your firm notification settings. For Notify Me Via, select whether you want the user to receive calendar alarm notifications by email, SMS text, or both. Note that this field is not active unless Send Me Appointments Reminders is checked. For Query, select a query to include or exclude calendar alarms for the notification. For example, the default query selected, Not Done, excludes any calendar alarms for done events from triggering user notifications. In the Daily Agenda section, check Email Me a calendar each weekday if you want the user to be sent his or her calendar every weekday. Check Include Weekends if you want the user to be sent his or her calendar every day, including weekends. Click Report and select the type of format you want for the calendars. For Days to Include, select the number of days out for the calendar. For example, if you select 1, the default, then just tomorrow's daily agenda will be sent. If you select 7, then the calendar for the next 7 days will be sent. Click Done to save your changes. Client notifications or reminders can be sent via text or email. In this section, we will set up client notifications for the firm, and then in the next section, we will enable or disable client notifications for each individual client. On the Notification Center settings window, check Notify Clients about upcoming appointments to enable client notifications for the firm. Then, in the Everyday At field, enter when you want client notifications to be sent every day. Note that client notifications are sent for appointments on the following day. Click Advanced for more client notification settings. The Notification Center Settings Client Reminders window appears. Let's review the settings on this window. Check New Events Prompt for Reminders upon saving to receive a message in AbacusLaw after saving a new event that asks you if you want to remind the client about the new event. Click What Codes for Client Reminders to limit client notifications to events with specific what codes. The Valid What Entries window appears. Check the what codes you want to trigger a client reminder. For example, you will probably want to trigger client reminders for appointment events, but not for internal events such as birthday or begin discovery events. For SMS form and email form, click the button to select a quick form for an SMS text template or an email template to use for the notifications. Click the phone number field to use for SMS button. Select the field in the client's name record that should be used to send text messages. On the Notification Center Settings window, select one of these options. If you want to select the clients who will get reminders, select Who Gets Reminders. This is the best option for a firm that wants to send notifications to select clients. If you want notifications to be sent to all clients, except for ones that have been configured not to receive notifications, select High Touch. This is the best option for a firm that wants to send notifications to all or most of their clients. Click Test All Notifications. This will not send out any notifications. Rather, it only tests your settings. If this test is successful, you are set up properly. You can create test events for tomorrow and link them to test names to ensure that client notifications are going out. Click Done to save your changes and close the window. In the next section, we will configure client notifications on an individual client level. If your firm is using client notifications, then client notifications may need to be enabled or disabled for each client individually. When you configured client notifications for the firm, if you selected Select Who Gets Reminders, then client notifications need to be enabled or disabled for each client individually. If you selected High Touch, then client notifications only need to be disabled for each client individually as needed. Let's review the procedure to enable or disable client notifications on an individual basis. Open the client in the Name window. If the client wants to receive notifications via email, ensure that the email field for the name record is populated correctly. If the client wants to receive notifications via text, ensure that the cell field for the name record is populated correctly. Click the Name Actions button. Click Send Reminders. Select one of the items in the submenu to enable or disable client notifications for the selected client. Select Default to System Setting to use the firm level settings. If both email and Twilio are configured at the firm level, it will send notifications via email and text message. If only one is configured, it will only send notifications via that one. Select Text Message SMS if you want the client to receive notifications by text messaging only. Select Email if you want the client to receive notifications by email only. Select both SMS and email if you want the client to receive notifications by both text messaging and email. Select Never Opt Out if you do not want the client to receive notifications at all. This disables client notifications for the selected client. Click Done to save the changes for the client.